Alright, I think that's enough terrible background music, don't you? How are you doing this evening, chat? Are you ready to join me on the glorious quest to make space great again? I know, it's crazy, right? Got someone in the chat there already saying, two streams one day after another. Is there a god in truth? No, I probably should actually be working on proper content, but I just feel like dying this evening, so instead it was like, I could sit and read a shitload of studies about so-called cyber violence and harassment and this and that sort of shit, or I can just go and enslave a bunch of aliens in the cold reaches of space and generally just be a dick to, well, everyone, right? I mean, why would I not want to do that? You know, if you're feeling a little bit down, inflict that misery on an entire species of just hideous xenos. Cause why not, right? I mean, that seems completely fucking legit, right? Is this just a stream for funds? Of course it's just a stream for funds. That's why we're here. Of course you're doing this for fun. Why else would you do this? So let's get on in, enjoy some of that glorious, glorious Stellaris background music, and I believe we're just gonna get on into this, because why not? It seems fucking legit. I will give you the screen, and then we will commence the glorious murdering of space. We are, of course, playing the mandatory, totally not space Nazi race, because why not? I have already commenced the enslaving of these creatures down here, which, as you can see, there is a little sector in the Commonwealth of Mankind down here. These people were my enemies. They tried to be my enemies anyway. They failed. They failed quite spectacularly, and as such, they basically became my slaves. They're a species of warthogs. They now serve mankind because they are filthy xeno scum who did not realize that human beings are in fact the superior race when it comes to mastering intergalactic travel, and now they are my bitches, because that's how I roll. This is how we make space great again. Oh, it's delightful. It truly is. Deport the space Mexicans, someone is saying. Well, I don't really think I'm going to deport the space Mexicans so much as I think I'm just going to maybe consider purging them. And that's a thing that you can have. I do need to change my empire's view very slightly to enable me to do this, but it is something that I might look forward to doing. Let's see if I can check the policy on that. We do currently prohibit purging, but we can allow the purging of Xenos only. I think purging of Xenos is something that might be necessary, because we've got this planet here and it is currently infested with filthy, verminous non-humans, and clearly they look funny, they smell weird, they eat the wrong food, and they worship the wrong gods, so why should they be allowed to exist, right? I'm not sure whether or not I actually want to purge them, though. Because you do have to sort of consider what their abilities are. I mean, what is this species? I mean, they're xenophobic as well. So, I mean, they don't appreciate being my slaves. They don't seem to have, like, a whole lot of actual particular advantage. I mean, this is the real advantage they have. They have a population modifier that makes them really good at physics, society, and engineering stuff. But I think, actually, as a human, I think we actually have a better population modifier. So actually, if that is the case, then human beings are objectively the superior race, and if that is the case, then we should not go. Then we should just eliminate them. No, I don't think we do. I mean, they seem to be kind of useful as a sort of slave class to basically just use to further my scientific gain. So I'm not sure if I want to go for the full-on purge. I think it might just be a case of take their population and forcefully resettle them around and use them mostly as slave labor, because once you enslave people, they become better at mining and producing food, but they then suck at producing like everything else. So I think what I might do is I might divide them into two separate classes. We can have the slave warthogs, and we can have the indentured servant warthog class, who will just work on science for me while I'm busy marauding and overtaking the universe. I mean, that seems reasonable to me, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't it, chat? Someone is saying, make some space bacon. That might be a viable chance. That there is a good chance that might actually be something that's going to happen. But let's see what we got going on around here. Oh, debris. Yeah, I know what that is. That was from me. Oh, no, you have a very long queue of things to do, don't you? I might pull that export mission and just actually go and... Yeah, let's actually go and do these, because these things are timed. Star systems aren't going anywhere, so... Screw it, we can go and deal with what actually needs to be done in the meantime. So, I think I've had a reasonable, successful start in this particular campaign. Oh dear. Who is You're starving. Oh yes, trust the filthy Xeno warthogs to not know how to run a society, so they end up starving themselves. This is why humans need to run the universe. Fucking knew it. You cannot trust an alien, right? Okay, it's only one less food you're producing than you're using, so, I suppose you got that there. I'm gonna take just the cheap and easy route, and I'm actually just going to enslave that population unit, because that will then mean that they will produce more food, so let's just give that a few seconds to, tick over, and that should... No? Maybe I need to enslave their other food-producing population as well. Because enslaved populations, they excel at the manual labor, and that is actually part of the food. Part of dealing with food. So we'll enslave both of their food-producing units, and that should then stabilize that planet's economy so that it's actually able to produce enough food. There we go. There we go. See, slavery is good. We've proved that right now. Slavery gets shit done. These people were starving. They were going to kill themselves. Then we enslaved a small part of their population, and now they're not going to drive themselves to extinction. Truly, we are the most benevolent overlords that the universe could ever hope to have. And I'm going to use that to justify my continued, possibly violent expansion into everyone else's shit. Because clearly I'm just better at running it than they are, right? We've just demonstrated that, like, objectively. So, awesome. Good for us humans. Someone saying, orbiting hydroponics does give you food. Yes, it does. Orbiting hydroponics does give food, but here's the thing. That's not as fun as slavery. It's not as an amusing solution to the problem, and also it doesn't cause nearly as much outrage, which is part of the reason you've got to do it. Also, my empire doesn't actually give much of a fuck about slavery at the moment. They're actually quite happy with it, as long as you're not enslaving humans. And if I wanted the space module, this is the problem. I don't actually have the hydroponic yet for the spaceport module, so I couldn't do that yet, unless it's something that you do on the surface here. I mean, I could just build more hydroponics, but I think it's far more entertaining to just enslave a bunch of filthy warthogs to do the work for me, because why not, right? It seems pretty fucking legit. You're not doing anything. You need to really go and expand our mining operations out here for the glorious empire of humanity. well, the Commonwealth of Humanity, I should say, and then I should probably, get on this. That's a fairly low. That's a fairly low failure rate. We could do something about that. Yeah, I'll leave that be for now. I'll come back to that when the time is right. I do feel like we need to begin expanding our borders so that we can acquire more living space for our glorious human empire. It is, after all, the only necessary thing that we have to consider is the well-being of our own civilization, possibly at the expense of everyone else's. I'm totally okay with that. Just as a side note, because I overtook these guys down here, unsurprisingly, this nation now considers me to be an absolute maraudering dickhead. Unsurprisingly. Probably doesn't help with the fact that I declared myself to be their rivals, but seriously, what is this? What is this? Your time will come, you filthy Xeno scum. On the other hand, though, I do have these guys who are, they're fairly indifferent to me. We're far enough away from each other that they don't really care. I do have an embassy in their territory, though, so they're going to end up liking me eventually, so I can maybe sort of keep these guys in check by having an allied border on the opposite side to them, so I can maybe sort of avoid these guys getting too pushy at me if I've got these guys on my back, but I'd rather not, because again, they are they're kind of filthy Xeno scum, so don't really want that. But you can't declare war on the entire universe at once. That is something which I've learned. It doesn't end very well. Someone is saying I should remember to study artificial moral codes for the share of the burden. I could. Declare rival for influence. I already have. These guys absolutely are my rivals. That's why I've got. That's why I do actually have some influence left after spending it all to crush the inevitable rebellion from the filthy warthogs. It's kind of amazing. So we're just gonna expand out, get some more resources, because we kind of need them, so that'll secure a little bit more cash. I'm not really sure where to expand to. I'm kind of considering out here, because this way it might seem a little strategically unsound to back yourself into a corner, but it does mean that I'd then end up with one front along here, and obviously one front against everything is kind of easier to defend and push out from strategically. And I don't really want to expand this way or this way, because that'll end up with lots of border conflict with these guys, and we're already not on very good terms. And I kind of like to avoid them getting any more pissed at me than they are, because we're kind of comparable on sort of military size at the moment, so I don't really want to mess them around too much, because I've just come out of a war. Mineral storage, that could be nice. The ability to build destroyers would be lovely. But I'm not sure if I've got the spaceport technology for it. I think I've only got level 1 spaceports at the moment, so it might just be a case of getting better ion thrusters for all the other everythings. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Because I don't think we're at a point where these guys are going to be getting out big destroyer ships yet. We might be okay. Someone is questioning whether this is a game on... whether this is something you can get on console. No, there is absolutely nothing that you could do. You could not play this game on a console. It just wouldn't work. Yes, but maybe if you got like the Steam controller and you can use that little haptic, not quite stick to move your mouse around. But no, just get a keyboard, get a mouse, play on a proper format. You filthy peasant. Yeah, I think expanding this way is going to be my best option. Just move out towards here. Oh! Shit just got real. So these guys are now going at each other. Indeed. And these guys were the ones who declared the act of war. I wonder if we can... I can't remember if, Okay, so because we're at war, what might be a good idea here would be if I were to do sort of a non-aggression pledge with these guys. So we sort of agree that, like, we're not going to go at each other, and then I just start in on these guys as well. Because there's no way these guys will be able to take a war on two fronts. And these guys, and it looks like these guys have been the... They've made the declaration, so they're quite clearly ready for it, so that means they're probably going to attack at some point in the next few decades. So, that is something to consider. I think I need to expand my fleet then if I want to go on the attack, because it's kind of small at the moment, because this is sort of early days, so let's expand... Let's expand the Navy out a little bit, and then we'll get ready to, I think, go on the offensive, because these guys are going to start having problems if there is any offensive action taken, so maybe they'll be in a weakened state. It might be worth just looking in every so often and seeing when that goes to inferior, because they've had sort of an attack on this front over here, and then I might be able to go in and just sort of snipe out a few of their resources on this front down here. That could be fun. I could definitely... I can turn this to my advantage, and I have absolutely no shame in doing so. But for now, I need my science vessel to look at exploring some of these systems out here, and I kind of also need to start expanding that way. So I think I need to start sending my construction ship down there to build some wormhole portals so I can actually start jumping out here. Shit just got real. Someone's pointing out in the chatter, if you always attack first, you'll never have to go on the defense. It's very true. That is true. If only it actually worked like that and your attack wasn't a complete catastrophic failure, as is sometimes wont to happen in this game, so maybe we could try and avoid that. Oh, I wouldn't mind some of these systems, though. Look, they have so much physics research going on over there. Look at that. Fucking glorious. I would not mind getting my hands on some of that. I mean, I could always, I suppose, if I just join in the fray, I could just demand vassalization of one of these planets. That is another possibility. So, that's something to consider. Because when you go in, you don't always have to... You don't always have to just go for, like, full-on taking over the planets and making it part of your empire. You can vassalize them as well, so they remain sort of independent, but they basically just pay a tithe to your empire. And then at the end of, I think it's like a century or a couple of centuries, you can bring them in as one of your own planets. So that might be something to consider, potentially, as a course of action. It really depends on how this works, but I kind of want to just see how this shit plays out. Oh my. You have unemployed pops? Oh no. Where? Oh, of course you're unemployed, you filthy warthogs. You can't even get a job, you just want to sit around on your goddamn porches all day, don't you? Jesus Christ. Ugh. More trouble than they're worth. They really do need constant adult supervision. And I guess they kind of need food, so I should probably actually just, Alright, fine. You know what? I'm gonna build you some food. I'm gonna build you some hydroponics. I think that's basically all you need, really. Yeah. I'll build you a hydroponics farm. There you go. And when that's done being built, I'm going to enslave you for your insolence. Just be aware of that. Enjoy your last few years of freedom, because as soon as that's built, dem irons is going on when they're still hot. Just be aware of your fate. I might actually see if I can just forcefully relocate some of those populations to some of my other planets, actually. I think places like the Acropolis here could do with some of them, because we've got some areas with food here. I really need to actually start building this planet out. If I do that, then obviously I can shift the warthogs around my empire a little bit, force them onto different planets, and basically just like, this would be prime for slaving here, because we've got minerals and food. So even if they just worked on there, they don't even have to, I don't even have to build a structure there. I could just sit one on the slave unit there and it would just produce way more of that. So that would be nice if I could maybe consider doing that. It might not be the worst thing ever. Yeah, this planet isn't doing too well for food either, but it's a very new colony, so might want to consider getting them some hydroponics and probably a spaceport, actually, so they can start building some ships for my inevitable war effort that seems to be about to happen very shortly. Really do with getting some more power plants as well, actually. For now, we'll get them some more hydroponics. Build that up so that they can actually be a little bit more productive on the food front, and then we'll maybe consider moving some slaves over to deal with that for them. I kind of want to get some defense going on over here, because I have my Betharian stone on this planet, and that's kind of valuable to me. It's one of those sort of high-powered ores, and unfortunately both of my planets that have them are borderlining the complete douchebag empire. I'm saying, you can't build a wall in space. Feels bad, man. I know, it's true. Though someone has pointed out quite correctly, you can build force fields. Space force fields. Someone else in the chat has pointed out my empire looks like a dick. It really does. My empire has evolved into a dick. That kind of says something. Oh my, what is this? Oh! Ah, who has the powerful population then? Well, it's not you. Oh, wow. You have quite a lot of support and you want emancipation. You can't emancipate the slaves, because if you do that, their planet will starve because they don't know how to govern themselves. It's almost like you're not paying attention to the bigger picture here, Mr. Dong Lu, if that is your real name. Hang on, only one population supports that. You serious? How is this a major threat to anything? It really isn't. I mean, I could just emancipate the slaves, but I really don't want to, because that is actually kind of what's keeping that planet running at the moment. I suppose it is kind of a dick move of me to just, like, enslave them when like, basically the entire population is going to be sympathetic to those slaves, because, well, the entire fucking planet is warthogs. So it might actually just be a better idea to build some hydroponics for them and just go with it, because they're pretty freaking miserable at the moment. So they're not actually producing anything at the moment, because they're all outraged and being separatists about it and just being butthurt about the fact that they got their asses handed to them in a war. Yeah, I might have to just sack an area of this and build more hydroponics. But we've got hydroponics building though, so I suppose once that happens, I can emancipate the slaves, and they should then be okay with that. So, oh yes, we know you've got the separatists happening. I know. Unfortunately for me, I have a large garrison of armed forces here, so if they do try and rebel or something, they're probably just going to end up getting themselves killed, which suits me fine. Just hope those hydroponics get built, and then we might be able to avoid it. Because, you know, I'd hate to have to just purge all of them. Oh, who am I kidding? I think actually purging all of them might be the best bet at this point in time. They're being so bloody ungrateful. Civilizing their universe.
Construction complete.
Ah, excellent. Okay, we've got a slightly bigger navy now. Good stuff. Someone's saying, never emancipate the slaves. Reparations will happen. It's true. It is true. Slaves can't revolt. You could just enslave all the rebel factions. I could do that. The problem is that planet would then become a lot less productive if I were to do that. And then what does seem to happen is that the rest of your empire then gets very, very sort of annoyed and is like, no, they all need to be freed because reasons. Although I could just enslave all of them and just say, fuck it, just kind of call it a bit of a lost cause and then slowly start shipping them out to other places. Might not be the worst idea.
Construction complete.
Just enslave them all so that they can never, rebel. Okay. Excellent, you're finally producing food. Good. Good. Well done, guys. And all their populations are working at the moment. Excellent. Oh no! One of my scientists has died. Sad times. I should probably replace him then. Oh no, it might have just been one of my unassigned ones then. Oh no, that was the leader. Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. That means we're gonna have to, have a new leader elected at some point. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. As long as I've still got scientists to do the research here and my science vessel still has one, that's okay. That's actually not a problem. I think it was just one of my backup scientists. Can't remember why I had another one, though. I mean, I could just suppress the media on them or just bribe their leaders, but that's a hell of an investment to just reduce their support. It might actually just be easier to enslave all of them. 11 supporters, so I'm guessing that's all that. The thing is, if I did that, then odds are that the surf thing here would, that would grow exponentially, but it would actually have no effect. They're not at a point of rebelling or rioting yet, but they're gonna get there. Yeah, I think it might be in my best interest to just enslave all of the filthy warthogs. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just... Yeah. That's it. Fuck you. You're all enslaved now. Deal with it. Just... That's it. This is your life now.
Construction complete.
You brought this upon yourselves. You demanded things. You're not getting them. Just get over it, frankly. You will not receive your freedom. Just deal with it, okay? This is what you get for making unreasonable demands for, you know, freedom. Why on earth would you think you'd get that? Absolutely ridiculous notion. Might be worth getting a second science vessel, actually, to start scanning these outer areas quicker. Otherwise, it seems like we might be just hanging around for a while, waiting for our empire to expand ever onwards.
System survey complete.
Someone's pointing out, make an alliance with the tentacle monsters and the Japanese tentacle consensual rape porn will flourish. Do you think these guys are suitable? Are these guys suitably tentacled enough for such an alliance to happen? I do still enjoy the fact that they are at war with those guys, though. I mean, how are they faring? They're still equivalent. It doesn't look like these guys have made any particular moves against them yet. That's a little bit sad, actually. I was expecting them to have actually done something. Be nice if they did. I really wish I could expand my borders out. I need to go claim some more systems. Put some more frontier outposts out and start reaching outwards this way. Someone's saying in the chat, Teal dear, getting shit done. You goddamn right I am. Hang on, I've got a little pop-up on the window there. There we go. Get that out of the way. Yes, let's have a little pop-up window covering the Twitch chat. Sure, why not? Thanks, Twitch. Oh, here's a really pointless reminder for you, something about a thing. Yeah, just make sure that you can't actually read what people are saying. Good job, guys. Well done. So proud of you. Get involved and wreck your enemies, someone suggests. I might do. I really do think that is actually a good idea. This is the thing. Be aware that our military is monitoring this channel. Well, good. I'm fine with that. These guys, we've got a lot in common, you know? They're militarist, I'm militarist. I mean, they're spiritualist and I'm not, and they're collectivist and I'm not, but we're both militarist. So, you know, we've got something in common, right? Yeah, okay, so... I kind of wish I could get an alliance going with them or something, sort of, but... Not really, because I do intend on taking over their space, but... What I really want at the moment is for these guys to not end up taking over all of this shit, because if they do, then I will be next. Although, to be fair, if they did that, their empire would be very unstable for a while. Your military could crush my nation in one fell swoop. Oh, could it? Could it really? Really? You think so? You fucking think so, bruh? You wanna go? You really think that you can stand up to the might of the glorious human empire? I don't think so. I think the Commonwealth of Man would, absolutely take you to task. And then, well, just look at my proud history of slavery. Keep that in mind the next time you decide to make a threat with your weird fucking stalky eyes.
System survey complete.
Ah, delightful. In the name of science, we have discovered some research. Excellent. Actually, I'm gonna go and claim... Ah, no, I can't build anything on there yet, because I need to expand my borders. Of course I do. Actually, I kind of need you to... Let's just, let's... Shift Q you to just... explore everything out there. Just go and chart all of these systems, then we'll work out the optimum place to stick a frontier post to hopefully bring all of this under my control simultaneously, and then I can just go and get all of the resources and just begin mining it for my glorious soon-to-be war effort. I should probably look at upgrading my ships, actually. Do I even have anything to upgrade to? Ooh, I do! I have antimatter missiles. Let's do that. Let's see what it suggests. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, sure, I'll overwrite that. We'll keep it just as, like, one class that goes on forever, which actually means... I want to finish building that,
complete.
and then we build one of the new ones. Yeah, it is the persistent class. It's not the other one. Yeah, this game's kind of odd like that. It's like, oh yeah, you get like a class, and then you get another class that comes in every so often that's like named after your leader, and it's not actually an upgrade at all. That's kind of weird. But now we have better fucking missiles. That's good. As I'm saying, crush them as their empire collapses from within itself.
Research complete.
That does seem like a viable option. If a war does happen and these end up as either vassalized nations, or if they end up as occupied territories, they're going to be a bit weak to start with, or more correctly, they'll be very prone to like rebellion or whatnot. So then their military will be weak. I might be able to swing in and take some of these territories if that happens. Makes a big assumption that something's going to happen. Quantum missile. We can get even better missiles. Ooh, that's yes. Ooh, I do rather enjoy the sound of quantum missiles level 4. I mean, that sounds like something that could absolutely wreck some fools. Though that is a lot of... that's a lot to spend on it, though. I should probably consider getting some space stations, though, for defense, because I kind of need to start defending my border along here. Fan as I am of a strong offense,
Construction complete.
it seems a little bit risque. Okay. You guys, actually, fleet, you can all just, considering you're there, you can all upgrade and just slowly work on getting even better missiles with which to nuke everything. I think that's a reasonable plan. I don't think there's any untapped resources anywhere in my system, so my construction ship can't really do anything. It's just kind of sitting around achieving nothing. It's great. Oh, I wish my empire to expand, and it's just not. Makes me kind of sad. And someone is saying, fuck defense, just have a quick response fleet. You'd have thought that would be a good answer, but it's not always. There is a limit to how fast your ships can move. In the Empire which I've got, they are reliant on these wormhole stations, so these are the only places from which they can actually jump. So that kind of determines their range and how they get to and from places. Like, they can't just jump from here to here, they'd have to jump... like, if they were here, they'd have to jump to the wormhole station and then back out. So, just saying, have a quick response fleet doesn't actually work necessarily very well in this game. Also, there's certain perks you can get for, like, leaders of your fleet, which can make some move faster than others, which, again, kind of makes just the whole, oh, just really quick response not very reliable. Because if their guys have a load of generals like that, then you're never going to catch them. It just doesn't happen. Someone is saying, how long until the citation-needed class battleship? Probably not very long. Once I actually get the ability to have destroyers, I might have to have an HMS citation needed. You have detected the presence of a primitive alien civilization on Lurchie's Nest. They are presently in what could be considered a late medieval stage. The firm grasp of metallurgy in a feudal society, the printing press is accelerating the spread of knowledge. Excellent. We should consider an observation post. We should. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, where was that? There's quite a few primitive civilizations around here, actually. I love how they have an opinion of me when they don't even know that I exist. Clearly, I am very, very famous. I wouldn't mind knowing, actually, just where are they?
System survey complete.
I'm going to assume one of them's in this system down here. Yeah. So it might be worth claiming that system, actually. Just stick a frontier post in it so I can listen in on what they're doing and keep an eye on them for science and abduct and dissect them and things like that, because that's how I roll. It's totally legit. don't think even that... Yeah, that's not in my... That's not in my system. That is. That's in my system, but I think I... Do I not have a listening post on there? I do, I have an observation post on there already. We are passively observing them. We could aggressively observe them. The natives are to... We could aggressively study the natives, and we could collect living specimens. That could be kind of fun. I'm not going to enlighten them, because that would be terrible. They're in a machine age. They're basically in kind of modern Earth sort of level technology at the moment. Oh, they actually have armies and shit. Do I want to just start abducting them and dissecting them? Just, for science, as I believe the phrase is, because after all, they are filthy Xeno scum, so... I might actually just have to do that, because I don't really want them to sort of come into their own and be all like, oh, we're a spacefaring race now, and we hate you because you think you own our solar system, and then I just have to destroy them anyway, so... Butt probing for science and for porn. Well, that is possible. Will there be anal probing? There probably would be anal probing if I were to do that. I mean, I currently do have a reasonable amount of social research, so I don't really need to do that. And that would probably make them a little bit unhappy if I were to do that, but... I mean, what do I actually even care? They are filthy aliens, and they are basically just another resource for me to exploit in order to expand the glorious empire of humanity to take over the entire universe. I might just have to do it. Someone is pointing out, what if they have their own military? Well, they do have their own military, it's just that my military is far superior. You know what? Aggressive observation it is. Let the anal probing commence. For science. Because, I mean, let's be honest, I mean, look at this. Look, where are they? Where are they? Look at that. Look at that. That is a face that just deserves... That is a face that deserves to be probed in the anus. Look at that. I mean, they look unhappy enough as it is. I mean, I don't think it can get any worse, frankly. And look, they're a very enlightened species. Look, they've got all of this the habitat and output modifiers. Look, they could actually be a threat to my glorious empire in the future, and that is not permitted. Instead, we're going to slowly abduct them and steal their cows and dissect things, and it'll be fun. It'll be great. Don't worry about it. They're not even human, so it's fine. Now, someone's saying you could wait for them to progress until you can infiltrate them, then assimilate them, and just purge them afterwards. Free planet. It's true. It is true. That is one way of getting a free planet out of it. I mean, the other way of doing it is, of course, just to land an army of mine on there, because their army is not very strong. Or is it's like 1.2 maximum 100 HP. My armies, I think, are considerably stronger. Yeah, my armies are stronger. If I were to just embark all of the armies which I've got, it would wreck them. I could just send, like, half a dozen detachments of my army down there and just completely purge that planet, no problem, but... For now, I think I value them more as a social resource than anything else, because I don't really need this planet, and I don't really need it to be inhabited. My home system is right there, and I've got another planet here, another one down... You know, it's close, it's just, like, a bit close to me, and I can already extract all the resources I need from that system anyway, so it would seem a bit wasteful to do that. Just like, oh, I own this planet, well... Great, but I don't think it really serves a whole lot of purpose.
Anomaly found.
It might be something worth doing a bit later. Yeah, you might as well research that, you can't fail. Later on when we look at doing the, oh, I can't remember the name of it. There's a system in this where you have to... send off, yeah, sectors. That was it. That's the word I was looking for. Where you create sectors which basically become like sort of small vassalized areas within your empire, like they run themselves almost autonomously, and just sort of tithe to the main player what it is. So it's kind of a way of making it so you don't have to control fucking everything by hand, like past the point of 5 planets at this instance. It might be worth taking that planet when we get to that point, because once we're at that point, it might be worth just declaring like 4 or 5 planets around here a sector so that they can sort of automate themselves and then expand to have another one here, another one here, another one here. So it might be worth doing something like that in the future. But for now, like I said, I think I'm just going to keep them as basically sort of a resource chip more than anything else, which is sort of how you have to play this game. I know I joke about like horrendous racism and xenophobia because it's hilarious, frankly, just to joke about it because, hey, video games. But when it comes to things like that, you really do sort of have to just consider like primitive populations and other planets and populations. They're basically just resource tokens with a skin. You know, it doesn't actually mean shit. And that's how you got to see them. And for now, I see that thing more as a useful resource chip for social research than just taking the planet
Ships
for
upgraded.
very little
Construction complete.
actual gain. Excellent, our strike fleet is more powerful. Perfect. We are nearing 1k power. Glorious. Okay. So nothing particularly weird happened. Cool. Amazing. I kind of want that system. That's got some pretty juicy resources in it down there. And so does that one. 9 engineering research, 5 minerals. That is a juicy amount of resources right there, but that border should expand to encompass it eventually. I'm still not actually 100% sure of the mechanics by which the border expands and contracts. It seems to be tied to multiple variables. I tried looking it up on one of the wikis, and even the wiki just said, like, it's controlled by a load of variables. It's like, well, that's great. What variables are they? I want to know so I can maximize it. So I can strip mine the universe. It's really interesting, the difference of opinion that we've got in the chat around we're just considering this primitive little species here and what we're going to do. And it's really interesting the differences in the chat that people are taking here. Someone's saying enlighten them just enlighten them so that they can become like a sort of useful ally later on because they'll be very grateful for you. Someone's saying that use them because the traits that they have can be very useful because obviously you're limited on what you can inhabit, like planet-wise, sort of planetary environment-wise, and if you find a primitive civilization that can basically go where, in my instance, humans can't, you can send them in to colonize a strategic planet that humans wouldn't be able to do very well on, so there is a potential for that. And then someone else is just saying, fuck it, you need to download the mod that enables Exterminatus, so you can just nuke the population from space. Yeah, that is a possibility. Seems like a totally legit possibility. Ooh, there's a habitable planet. It's a desert planet. That is something to consider, though, because these guys, our filthy, disgusting warthog Xenos, actually work very, very well on desert planets. It's sort of one of their traits. They've got a preference for deserts, so potentially if I found a desert planet and inhabited it, I could just transfer a few of these population units over there, and they would do a lot better than the humans do. Because I can't remember what the humans prefer, but it's not... It ain't deserts. What was it that humans preferred? Yeah, just continental. See, as continental preference, they do okay in a lot. You can see there's no sort of real place that the humans can't go in. They just don't particularly excel anywhere, which is kind of their thing, really. I suppose that's kind of humans in a fucking nutshell in every single game, you know. They're kind of alright at everything, but they never really excel in any particular area. They're kind of the boring race like that, but, as we all well know, that is not the case. We are, in fact, the glorious, superior species of the galaxy, and we're going to let everyone know that. As we already have. With these warthogs. Fuck you guys. Have you guys gone to war yet? Hostile. Ah, they're cordial now. Perfect. One day I will tolerate being in the same room as you, and we can have cake and some tea. The room will be very long, just so you know, and the table will also be very long, because, well, you're a giant filthy talking mushroom, and I don't really want to be anywhere near you. But, you know, I will tolerate knowing that you are in the same building as me, so how about that, right? Yeah, good enough? Awesome. Who leveled up? Ah, excellent. My scientist, one of them. We are proceeding slowly and steadily ever onwards. It's perfect. Someone is pointing out, you need to take it back because Skyrim belongs to the Nords. Yeah, pretty much. That is kind of the empire that I'm playing at the moment. Except, in this instance, none of this ever really belonged to humanity to begin with. So I'm just kind of declaring that it belongs to me, like, even though it never really did. So, but, you know, I'm just sort of asserting my dominance over it, because, you know, that's life. Question in the chat, there's like 70 people watching and the comment section is still kind of slow. Is that my connection problem, or is it just slow? No, I think it's just slow. And let's be honest, there's not a million things going on here for people to talk about, really.
Anomaly found.
Ah, excellent. Yeah, you can totally research that. Yeah, in other games where you've got a lot of shit going on constantly, you'll find people talk more, but because this is a 4X, it's a bit slower, it's a bit more thought out. You know, I can speed it all up, but if you do that, things just end up sort of happening a bit quickly, and you tend to not really notice some things. Which kind of sucks sometimes, but I think we're actually, yeah, we're in a point of relative peace at the moment, so I think we can jack the speed a bit. Now science vessel can just go and do whatever. I don't like all of these mysterious vessels that just kind of... Oh, it's those things. It's you guys. Giant space cow things. They're not even a threat, so whatever. They can do whatever they feel like. Not a problem.
Situation log updated.
Okay. Kind of want to get out here. Can my science vessel not even reach there? I think it's too far. I think it's just outside. Oh, who's starving now? What? My home planet is starving? Oh dear. Appears we need to get more hydroponics going over here. Yeah, I still don't have the spaceport module for aeroponics in space yet. That's a little bit sad. Yeah, I do kind of need to get some food on here. Let's clear this, and then we'll put some hydroponics there and exploit that food resource. I should probably have cleared all of this, actually, just to tap the maximum potential out of it. Yeah, let's do that. We'll clear that, we'll get some hydroponics there, and then maybe I'll look at resettling some of the warthogs to work it.
Incoming transmission.
Oh. Ah, we have a diplomacy deal. Excellent. You filthy fungus-faced, disgusting Xenos will give me star charts if I agree to give you some star charts. I will tolerate this exchange. I will tolerate this exchange of knowledge as a show of good faith. Because, you know, apparently we're friends. Sure, why not? We're friends now. I'm friends with giant tentacle-faced mushroom people, because that's how this game works, apparently. Even though we're as xenophobic as fuck Empire, apparently. We're supposed to be anyway. We're supposed to be very xenophobic and fanatically militarist, and we've just made friends with a tentacle-faced mushroom. Okay, so we've cleared that. So let's build some hydroponics. My people don't seem to be very happy on this planet. I wonder if I can, how can I fix that? I suppose I could just pass an edict to make people happier, but, oh, actually, I don't have that. I would probably need to research propaganda. I would imagine that actually probably some of that unhappiness is coming from the starvation, though, so... yeah. So I think once we get the hydroponics sorted out, that'll actually deal with that. But I might want to look at maybe getting some of our warthogs over here. If I get them over there, that planet will be producing more food, so let's maybe consider that. Who's not doing very much? I'm producing a shitload of minerals. You're not doing very much. Let's resettle you to Unity. You can go over there. Go work that. And then that human can work there. He can mine some shit. And you're going to need some more slaves for that plantation, so... I don't really want to move them off food and mining, because slavery is beneficial to mining. So... put the human onto the energy. You're doing social research. I don't think so, Sonny. You get over there and deal with the food. We don't really need the social research because we're currently probing the buttholes of a bunch of people in the middle of their World War civilization. That does cost a hell of a lot to do that, though. Okay, maybe we'll just stick with... yeah, maybe we'll just swap the one then. So we'll keep that guy mining because slavery is beneficial for the mining, and we'll stick a human in maybe the energy production? Or in the social research. Or I suppose in physics research. Either way, we're going to do that. That is a hell of a cost, though. We'll do it. Anyway. It's kind of annoying, the whole influence thing. It just seems to be a very sort of artificially gated resource that just takes ages to rack up, even if you do declare people to be your enemies. But that should sort this planet out after a little bit. Let's give it a while to tick over. Obviously we'll have the hydroponics as well there. Yeah, once our hydroponics is down and that guy's working hard. Okay. Well, I think we've made some reasonable progress there then. So, let's speed through that. Let's hopefully try and sort out this, our mild starvation problem. Oh no, it sorted itself out now. Oh no, they're still on minus production, but they're not starving anymore. Good. Good job, slaves. You are keeping my economy propped up, you filthy Xenos.
Construction complete.
Ah, hello. I speak for the executive Parak Taras and the wealthy elite of the Tumbator Star Directorate. That sounds a lot like Tumblr Star Directorate. I'm not entirely sure if I'm on board with this. Your alien ways are objectionable to us, but perhaps we can still engage in limited trade, assuming your inferior civilization produces anything of value. I do think there's only one appropriate response to this. Alien scum. Yeah. Fucking told you. With your little elephant nose face feature thing. Yeah. Holy, oh, wow, okay, you have... Tumblr has apparently taken up quite a large part of space, it seems. Oh boy, okay. Yeah, sure. You're wary. You know what? Oh, you're xenophobic isolationists. Well, yeah, you really don't like me then. I'll pop an embassy in your space. Maybe we can get to know each other a little bit, and then I will crush you. How about that? Just as a thought. Once I'm done with these guys up here. These guys really need to fucking die. Their relative power to me is overwhelming. Oh dear. Yes, I think we need to step it up a little bit in regards to our research and fleet sizes and whatnot. And maybe just start expanding for the hell of it, frankly. We just gotta claim more space for the glorious empire of humanity, I think. Many people are just pointing out, we need to exterminate Tumblr from space. Yes, I really think we do. They are very wary of me. Apparently they are superior, though, although it's only their fleet power which is equivalent. Their capacity is greater than mine, but their actual ability is not at the moment. I think we do need to tap into this a little bit, because these guys won't mind if I share a border with them, because at this point in time we're on pretty good terms with each other, so that's a thing. They really like my slavery policy, apparently. These guys are all on board with the fact that I have enslaved the warthogs, so, you know, I feel like we've got some common ground there, so that's good. That is good. What are you doing? You seem to not be doing anything. It's like you're declaring that you're doing something, but you're not actually doing it. Ah, it's because it's a little too far. Why did you not just cancel the order to move there, then? It's like, oh, I can't actually go there, but I'm gonna point my ship at it and think about it really hard. I think this guy, oh, he's 77, he's probably going a little bit senile. He's probably gonna die soon. I should probably consider getting a replacement. Means I need some more influence. Buy myself a new scientist. Someone's pointing out in the chat, once Teal'dir burns all of space to the ground, you'll have your safe space. Absolutely. Yes,
Situation log
we will
updated.
gather these specimens. Of course we will. I do, in fact, have a history in video games of setting things on fire, so no doubt what's going to happen is the Commonwealth of Man will end up taking up this amount of space, just here, and then all of this will just be on fire. That's pretty much probably going to be the end point of the game, I think. Just everything is on fire except for my small quadrant. Because I spent the entire game sitting shooting interplanetary flaming arrows at people and watching them burn without a single shred of remorse. That sounds about right, right? Yeah. I do not like these people. Someone's pointing out they have penis noses. They really do. I mean, this is Tumblr all over. I mean, you're kind of chubby. You've got the blue hair. You've got the penis nose. You're clearly some sort of transgendered demi-kin or some such nonsense. I mean, look, what is this? What is this logo here? I mean, you've got a circle and a little thing going down there. I mean, is that supposed to be a little fist in the middle here? Is that actually what this is about? I think it is. My god, you're basically just fucking Tumblr in space, aren't you? Ugh. You sicken me. See, look, I just like to point out a difference in philosophy here. You see, you guys, you've got the circle and you're trying to break out of it. You're trying to break out of your circle. My allies over here, they know their place. Their place is in their circle. Not outside the circle, in their circle. That's why these are my allies and you are not. Fuck you. Right, who's starving now? Oh god, why? Is it because you didn't build enough? Oh, no, you have a hydroponics bay. I think you just need another one. I think we just need to build more hydroponics. Yeah, I can afford to lose one mineral, I think. I'm gaining them at a reasonable rate. So I can drop one in favor of getting some hydroponics on there. I can't really afford to resettle more slaves at the moment because influence is the most dick fucking resource in this game. Hang on, have I not declared these people as my rivals? I'm doing it again. You're my rivals. Again. You've never not been my rivals. How did we have that as not a thing? Fuck you. You are absolutely my rivals. We're gonna have a war shortly, and I'm going to absolutely wreck you. I can't do that if you're not my rivals. God, get with the fucking times, guys. Jesus. It's like you've not been paying attention to the last however many centuries we've been doing this. Someone's pointing out, yeah, these guys know their place and it's in the back of the galaxy. You're goddamn right it is. Humans get to ride up front in this galaxy, that's how it works. I can't wait for someone to just go through this live stream and just quote mine the shit out of it. Just find every sample where I'm saying things like that and being like, oh, look at all the things that Hildir was saying. Yes, while he's playing the character of a very xenophobic expansionist empire in space. Yes, it's funny. It's funny that that would come up, isn't it? You and I are going to have some boundary issues soon. If you keep expanding into my space over here.
Construction complete.
Excellent. You guys...
System survey complete.
You guys should no longer be having any food troubles then. Excellent. You are breaking even. Please stop having children. Apparently you're kind of unhappy as well. Why are you so unhappy? What is wrong with you, exactly? What if I give you a governor? Can't really afford a governor. Ooh! I have a governor available who exploits the ever-loving shit out of slaves. But I can't afford him. Shit. Ugh. That guy would be the best governor for this planet. I mean, this governor, yeah, she's fine, because she's like a cheap governor, but... God damn it, I wish I could have got that guy to be the governor of this planet. We would be rolling in money. Look at that, 15% extra food output, 15 extra mineral output. Ugh. Ugh, we would have everything coming out of this planet. It would be beautiful. It would be amazing. We would have all of the resources. Just all of them. It would be great. Ugh. It's kind of sad that we didn't get that. I need to start hiring slightly more exploitative governors, I think. And someone's pointing out there's research that increases influence gain. Yeah, but doesn't seem to be a huge amount of it. Not available yet anyway. I need to move on and then sort of see if I can pick some of that up later. It's like you can also enhance certain planetary features as well, but I just don't have that technology yet, so I'm kind of limited to this sort of really shitty base income at the moment. It's fine because I'm able to declare people as rivals to do it, but that kind of sucks because obviously I can't declare those guys as rivals because we're actually sort of becoming quite good allies at the moment. These guys I could, but that's kind of a concern. It's not really a concern that their fleet power is equivalent to mine, it's the fact that having superior technology and capacity means they could potentially outgun me in a fight. So in order to deal with that, I'd have to have a lot more ships, and to do that would increase the cost on them, like, a hell of a lot. Because it would be going over the capacity, which would basically put, sort of a fine on it, resource-wise, as maintenance. So I've got to kind of play a little bit carefully around that, if I want that to work. And while it would be nice to have them as rivals for the influence, I don't need it yet. Looking at the age of some of my scientists, though, I'm going to need it soon, because these guys aren't going to live forever. It's just, influence is just one of those things, it's... When you get into the late game and you can start getting, and basically, when you're in the late game and you find a load of other civilizations, like out here, because we inevitably start expanding outwards, I mean, you can have an empire of this size and have sort of 8 or 9 empires all around you. You can declare the furthest ones away as rivals with basically no problem whatsoever, because then you're relatively safe because you've got other empires between you and them, so you just declare them rivals to harvest the influence. And obviously as time goes on, then you do get the research that will increase your influence, but in the early game like this, I mean, I think there's probably only been about 4 or 5 hours in this game, because I played one game before this where I was just sort of learning the mechanics, and I got about 7 or 8 hours in that, and then I was like, okay, I actually understand the game's mechanics reasonably well now, so I'm gonna start, like, a proper, like, sort of the proper game, and this is the proper game. So what I noticed on that other playthrough, and I'm finding it again here, is that influence in the early game is kind of just a really sort of slow thing to get hold of. Towards... So as time goes on, like sort of after a few hours in, it definitely becomes easier to get hold of it. Because you can get all those extra technologies, you can get the planetary upgrades, you can get the research upgrades to deal with it, and you can just declare rivals all over the fucking place. But at the moment, we don't know enough other empires to just declare everyone as our rivals. That would be really stupid. I'm quite content to just have this one species here as my rival, as sort of my... They are my resource token for influence, basically. That's kind of their only function at the moment, honestly. It'd be nice if you could, like, actually sort of organize trade things for influence, but you really can't. And it's kind of a problem because you sort of reach this weird point where you need to build things like frontier outposts in order to garner all of the other resources that you need. But that costs influence, and then you can't really get influence until you start expanding out and getting all of the things to actually further your own research and meeting all of the other species to just declare them as rivals. So you end up in this kind of... I don't know, it just seems to be in like the first few hours, you sort of end up in this kind of little vicious cycle of not having enough influence to really just do everything that you need to do, but also not being in a situation where you can basically get enough of it. So it's kind of a weird balance in the early game. It sorts itself out a little bit later. It seems to take a few hours for that, but you know, it's a 4x strategy game, so inevitably it takes time to do that. They always start slow. As I'm saying, you might want to keep an eye on your slaves. They seem to grow a little pissy. Well, it's possible, but, well, for now they seem to be doing okay. I mean, they're not particularly happy with life, but I didn't really ever expect them to be. I mean, they're fucking slaves. You know, that's life, I guess. Eventually I might be able to actually sort them out and make them happy with their place in life, by which I mean purge them. Once I've done that, then the happiness problem will not really be an issue, because at the moment the slavery thing is kind of a problem. It just seems to be dragging down my empire's overall happiness, which is a little bit annoying, because even though the empire which I'm playing at the moment is kind of okay with slavery, it's not one of those empires that thrives on it. Like, they tolerate slavery from other species, like they'll tolerate it, but they're not like, oh my god, we absolutely love it sort of thing. You see, they've got the alien slavery tolerance plus 50%. Now that's not a species that's like, oh yeah, we're really pro-slavery. It's more just a case of it's an empire that is a lot less harmed by taking slaves. Like, it still sort of seems to be a negative influence to have them, but it just kind of, it mitigates the damage of having them. It's not actually sort of an empire that's necessarily pro, oh my god, we must have all of the slaves. So it's sort of more in your interest to either keep the populations free, or you keep them enslaved as like a sort of temporary measure to do what we're doing at the moment and basically stop them from rebelling. Because we're able to at the moment, so we're kind of exploiting the mechanic a little bit, because I just don't want them branching off as a separate faction and then demanding this planet become independent, because if that happened, then it wouldn't be like a total disaster, but it would certainly be an annoyance if this planet suddenly was just like, oh, by the way, we're independent now, because fuck you. Someone's saying, you have the most difficult engine tech, and it makes the others have an easy time expanding. Yes, that is one of the problems with this starting race. You are kind of tied to these, to the wormhole stations to move around, which kind of sucks, but that's life. It does kind of suck that this species, or what we're playing at the moment, isn't like a collectivist xenophobe, because collectivist xenophobes, they fucking love slavery. Like, if that's actually sort of that's actually a means of running an empire where if you take slaves, it actually makes your empire happier. As opposed to this one, they're not happy about it, they just kind of tolerate it. Which it's not really the same thing. It's, you get the benefits, but there's also a lot of downsides to it, so you gotta be a bit more careful with this empire in doing that. We have our new system down here. Excellent. Right. Okay, how can we sort out some of our issues? Exoskeletons I don't think is going to help. I don't think we're going to be invading anyone anytime soon. We seem to be reasonably stable at the moment.
System survey complete.
Additional mining might be useful, but I'm also kind of actually starting to think we might want to look at destroyers, but I don't have the technology to build them yet because I don't have the right spaceport. I think I'd have to get it. We'll get the technology and then we'll look at sort of upgrading spaceports a little bit later. We'll look at trying to get that technology so I can start rolling out some destroyers so I can have a slightly more powerful navy. Because as it stands, this is kind of meh. I mean, 800 damage.
Updated.
Indeed. Okay. We have encountered some form of alien vessel. Of course we have.
Evading hostile fleet.
Oh, really? That's your hostile fleet? Destroy them. They are being insolent. They're in my space. They're thinking that they're going to enable me to not scan this area and see if there are any resources that I want here. So, fuck those guys. Get out there. Go and show them who their true rulers are. It's gonna be a wonderful thing. We're actually gonna have some combat, finally. We've been sitting here doing this for what, like, just over an hour now, I think, and this is gonna be our first taste of glorious combat. It's not gonna last very long, though. Come on, guys. Oh, yeah. Wow, they are charging. They are going head first for this.
Hostile fleet engaged.
I don't think you guys are gonna handle this very well. I think you guys might be about to get wrecked by my level 3 missiles.
Situation log updated.
Well, you tried. I suppose I have to give you a little pat on the head for that. Now let's go and research their wreckage and see what we can take from it. Also, I don't know what this building is. Let's wreck it.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Come at me, bros.
Situation log updated.
Absolutely glorious. That's your mission, and then I want you to shift Q that. There we go. Fantastic. That also seemed a little bit loud, so let's see if we can put some of that down a little bit more. I mean, the advisor, yeah, you can just shut the fuck up, because you're just annoying. And we can drop those down so that any other combat is not entirely deafening. I think that would be lovely. Is it you, or is it choppy during combat? No, it's you. It's not very choppy. Sometimes the ships are a bit close together and it can look a bit meh, but that's actually just how combat works in this game. There is a mod you can get, it's called like a Beautiful Combat, which like separates things out and makes the battles a lot larger and more pitched, which I might actually download in the future, so you can actually see what's going on as opposed to just this mass of ships clipping through each other. Once you actually get like several hundred ships in a fleet, it can start looking a bit, you know, not very aesthetically pleasing, and I do enjoy my aesthetically pleasing space murder. Oh, come on, territory, expand. I want this planet. I want this system. I need it. I require the resources. Is that within my... I'm not sure if that's quite within my empire. No, I think it's just outside. That's unfortunate. Really need to work on expanding these borders. Have you guys gone to war yet? Oh! Well! Have you heard the good news? I have heard the good news. I have only just noticed the good news. Apparently you totally fucking annihilated those guys while I wasn't looking. Oh, okay. Well. Yes. Sure. Why not? Okay. Yeah, that happened very, very quickly. Well, all of my planning of getting my fleet in and taking a small part of that was apparently completely unnecessary. Damn, son.
Debris analyzed.
Okay, well that kind of sucks, but it's also kind of awesome. It does mean that I don't have to worry about them anymore, and I can now expand all around here as much as I like, because I don't have any competition. My only concern is if these guys then get pissed off, because these guys have technologically outpaced me quite a bit because of my early war effort against these guys. Now, you guys apparently don't seem to mind me very much anymore. I guess my embassy's been putting in a very good word for me. Yeah, I think aggressive expansion is probably my best bet at the moment. Just try and snatch up as much in the way of resources as possible. And try and get as much of these planets under my control as possible. So I think I might actually want to start inhabiting some of these worlds. Like finding some which I can actually live on and just landing on them. I mean, there's something habitable there. Oh, I can't colonize it. It's an ocean world at the moment. I could colonize that. That's actually ideal for colonization, so I might look at doing that, but that's very close to their border. They might see that as an aggressive act. It's not really something that I'm interested in. If that turns out to be a good habitable world over there, I can take that. And expand my territory out like that. Just basically anything that maybe sort of stops my empire from resembling a giant space dick might be nice. Although, just for the sake of fun, I guess I could expand just this way and just slowly expand my giant space dick into Tumblr. Into the Tumblr Interstellar Coalition. Oh, come on, that is just the Tumblr Intersectional Coalition. Let's be honest, that's what that is. We're gonna have to destroy them. Absolutely. That's not on. None of that nonsense, thank you very much. And someone's saying, did I invade those purple guys? No, it was these guys. Oh, excellent. They are going to establish a thing in there. No, these guys wrecked the purple guys while I wasn't looking. They just kind of... I'm guessing that the purple guys lost their fleet and basically just seceded all of their land to the Lolahundra, or the Lol... I'm just going to call them the Lolly Empire. Because, I mean, they're giant tentacle rape-faced aliens, so there's probably some lolly in there somewhere. So the Lolly Empire took over those things while I wasn't paying attention, and now we're going to move slowly towards violently penetrating the Tumblr intersectional coalition down here. Someone in the chat is saying, put your space dick right into the depths of Tumblr, just remember the condom. Oh no. Oh no, we're not even going with that. We're going in dry. They're not gonna know what hit them. One day we'll get there. Right, did you even finish scanning this sector? I don't think you did. You did not. God damn it, get to work. Lazy scientists. I need to know if I can inhabit that planet and actually start expanding my empire. How good are terms am I on with these guys? Fairly well? Okay. Ask to be their protectorate. I don't really want to do that, frankly. I could ally myself with them, but for now I want to offer a trade deal. I'm gonna give them some minerals for some energy credits. We're going to arrange some... Oh, well, wow, they do not have a lot of spare energy. Okay. What else can I offer you? Can we do border access with each other? Wow, they don't consider that to be very worth it. I just kind of want to establish some sort of trade deal with these guys, basically just to butter them up a little bit and make them like me a bit more, so that I'm not going to end up with them potentially not liking me while I end up, fucking over the Tumblr sector. Yeah, they don't seem to be very open to anything, really. There's no real point with the non-aggression principle. I mean, I guess I could just ask them for an alliance, and we could actually just become, like, sort of an allied thing. That might be one way of doing that. I don't really want to have to deal with any sort of alliance, though, because I do intend on wiping them out eventually. Someone's saying the Tumblr Coalition will just form a trust and safety council and ask the big boys to take away your slaves. They probably will. They will probably attempt to end my slavery. Oh, they seem to be reasonably cordial towards me at the moment. They seem to be fairly okay with my existence, so... Who knows, maybe we can just maintain a respectful distance from each other, which is going to be very difficult considering we share a common border. And fuck Tumblr. Let's finish up the science in this sector and see if I can inhabit it. Upgrade your spaceport while you're there. Actually, what might be worth me doing is getting some of these other planets to build a spaceport. Yeah, get yourself a laser defense module or a missile defense module, because we've got the money for it, so you guys already have a spaceport. Get some solar panels on yours over there. And Unity, yeah, you can also get some solar panels. Let's get a little bit more power into the Empire, just as a whole. Ah, excellent. More filthy alien scum. Greetings, I speak for the executive whatever the fuck, and the wealthy elite of the something. We are always looking for new trading partners, and hopefully we can come to some sort of accommodation that will benefit the commerce of both our nations. You don't seem to be entirely scum, but you're probably still alien scum. So, respect my authority or else. Oh god, now we've got this as well. Oh wow, you're a dick. I speak on behalf of you bunch of cunts. And I come with a message for your depraved species. As long as you stay out of our internal affairs and treat our great leader Emperor Guffaril I with reverence, there may yet be peace between our nations. Yeah, you can keep out of my way or I'll fucking make you.
complete.
So where are all of you? There we go. You see, this is what you need. People this far away, so that you can actually just declare them as rival empires to get extra influence. Where was the other group? Oh wow, you are fucking miles away, aren't you? Well. Yeah, so those guys are quite a way away, and where was the other group?
Construction complete.
Because that wasn't them. Where was the bunch of fucking crocodile-looking people? You. Oh, that is you. Oh, can I just point out something fucking hilarious? I just point out we have the Tumblr Intersectional Coalition and a bunch of snowflakes. Well done, Stellaris. Bravo, you know me so very well. Right, snowflakes, fuck you. I do believe that, you're equivalent to me, or whatever. These guys need to fucking die, frankly. Just all of you. You are my rivals. Fuck you. Fuck you and your filthy alligator head. You know what, you as well. You're overwhelming, but you're also you're neutral to me, so fine. You're too far away to be a threat. You're immediately next to me, though, so you're my fucking enemies. So come at me, bro. Still not a very good planet to inhabit down there. Let's see if can I finally reach that? No. Can I not scan anything? Doesn't really seem to be anything within distance. We can do that one, I suppose. The snowflakes are hiding behind Tumblr, says the chat. Yes, they really are. Welcome to the internet. They are a bunch of very fucking special snowflakes. I mean, did you notice that? It's like, we've got the Snowflake Empire, and they're like, oh no, you must give reverence to our emperor, because that's how we fucking roll here. You really are the fucking Tumblr snowflakes of the universe, aren't you? Ugh. You're gonna die. Your empire is gonna be crushed into dust. And then any survivors are gonna end up enslaved to pick my cotton. The glorious empire of humanity, because seriously, you do not get to speak to me like that, Tumblr, under no circumstances. Not even once.
Construction complete.
Really? You're starving again? How are you even managing this? I'm guessing that we should probably get you some more hydroponics then. I really need to improve my tech for my planetary tech, so I can actually start getting some of those upgraded ground structures. Make life considerably easier. Yeah, you go back and repair yourselves. Chat is suggesting that the snowflakes are getting very triggered by my D-shaped empire. I think they might be, actually. I think the fact that there is a slightly phallically shaped empire dripping globules of my empire towards it is a bit triggering for them, so there might be some element of that going on there. Not even gonna lie. Someone is suggesting I should take over Tumblr and then harass the snowflakes into submission with trap porn. I probably should. That does seem like a thing I can do. I do have the appropriate allies. I do have the Lolicon Empire over here, with their tentacle-faced mushroom heads, so I think we could arrange something like that. Excellent, we have repaired my fleet. Glorious. I think eventually we might have to start considering some sort of offensive action, but we really need to expand our empire outwards. So let's get a wormhole way station so we can start jumping out here and maybe look to expand my empire out yon. I think I will have to take that planet. It'll be a bit of a dick move, frankly, because of the location of it right next to my allies' border, but I kind of need it. Did I not build a,
Construction complete.
Did I not build a, ship? No. Human colonists. Ah, excellent. You go and produce some food. Excellent. Yeah, we're gonna get a colony ship and I'll go and, I think, take that, because it's a habitable planet. It's actually, like, it's actually pretty good. For me, there's a continental world there, so that's actually really good for me. So I think I'll take that, and then I think it'll slightly upset the slightly D-shaped empire. Actually, it won't, because we'll have one there and one there, and then we expand this way out into space over here. It'll be great. Or maybe it'll just look, or maybe we can expand one planet out here and actually have a proper nice rounded end there as we thrust deeply into the Tumblr intersectional coalition in order to eventually harass the special snowflakes. It'll be great. We can do it. We can do it, chat. You just gotta believe. That's all you gotta do. Believe in the power of the glorious Commonwealth of Humanity. We will make all of the plays and take over the entire galaxy. It'll be glorious. God, I just want all of these planets. Look at them, just all of this resource, just fucking sitting here. Just sitting here. I just can't get it. Tumblr really doesn't, they do not seem to like me very much at all. Actually, they seem to be okay with me, but, they're very wary of me. They're cautious. As they should be.
Research complete.
I'm preparing all of the things. How can I make these people like me? Yeah, you see, look, we've got the border friction with them already. My embassy can only go so far. Right, physics research. I think we might need to start upgrading our tech. Fusion power, yeah, that might be nice. I think we need to get some physics labs going and just start actually working on things that can improve the planets that we've got. Because my planetary tech is currently falling behind. I really did lose kind of my early start getting into quite a long war with the fucking warthogs. They've really... That war really set me back quite a bit, actually. Oh god, I can't even get that far out. So I need a planet over here. I need a wormhole there, I think. So I can actually start jumping over yon, out this way. And someone in chat is asking me, have we found the feminazis? I don't think so. We've found the Tumblr Intersectional Coalition and the Special Snowflake Empire. We've not found the Feminazi Empire yet. We have the Visari Consortium up here, which, they're just a bunch of people, really. They don't particularly like me very much, but I'm relatively indifferent to them, and too far away to be of any real consequence as of yet. I might declare them as rivals, actually, just for the fucking lols. For the extra influence gain, I'll just declare a rivalry with them anyway, because why not? Means I get some influence gain out of them, so at least they're so far away, like the crocodiles and these guys, so they're not really going to be an immediate threat to my empire, so fuck it. They can be rivals for now. Just use them as a resource. Someone is suggesting that I need to turn all of the warthogs into bacon. That is my plan. I do plan on enacting some sort of purge eventually against them, because they do apparently seem to be making my empire quite unhappy. But in order to make that a viable option, I need to increase the amount of influence that I've got, because my influence gain at the moment, because we're in that early game, is really, really slow. So what I'd need is enough influence to be able to resettle enough people from other planets onto that one, so that I could basically make up for the fact that I would be systematically purging the warthogs. And each population transfer, I think, is like 50 to 100 influence or something like that, so you know, it's not really a viable strategy to do it immediately. I could... Oh! Hello. Who are you, and how did you get here? They're in subspace. One of my scientists has died. What are you? Oh, you're some random alien. Just murder it. I need to get a new scientist. This is why you need to have dat research set aside. I need to recruit some new scientists. Right. Extra military research, quicker survey speed, or experience gain. I'm not really sure. That guy is getting old, and he's the guy on my ship. So I probably want someone who can take over from him on the vessel eventually. But for now, I just need a generalized scientist, I think. So we'll get someone who I think... I'm not really sure. I might actually just go with this person, because they'll be able to adapt weapon systems for me, and they're quite young, so they'll last a... They will last a pretty long time, so let's go with her. Considering she's going to be on the engineering, and I think engineering is where all your military weapons come up anyway, so I think that'll be the most beneficial thing for me. That means that she'll make my military research nice and quick. Someone's suggesting that I should move all of the warthogs to a polar planet, because no, you're not warping out. Fuck you. You're fucking dead. Alien scum. GG. Easy game. Someone in chat is saying you've never heard of this game before. It looks fun. It is if you enjoy 4X strategy games. You have to enjoy sort of quite long, protracted games which are more akin to spreadsheet gaming than anything else, because that's basically all this game is. It's basically just a giant fucking spreadsheet with a shitload of resource tokens all over it, and you just have to manage as best you can between all of them. That's kind of the best way of putting it, I would say, and obviously there is the hilarious elements of politics involved as well, so it is fun. It is a damn good game. I mean, I've had it for about a week now, I think. I've put probably about 12 or 13 hours into it over that time, which is a fair amount for me, given that I don't have a huge amount of time set aside to game throughout the week. So that's a pretty fucking ringing endorsement from me, honestly. I have thoroughly enjoyed it so far. The one thing I would say about it, though, is being a 4X game, be prepared to play like 6, 7, 8 hours of a game, like just to learn the mechanics, and then quit and start a new game again, because you'll kind of need to in order to actually learn what the hell is happening. Because if you don't do that, you'll kind of go in and then you'll reach a point where you're basically being hampered by your earlier mistakes, which you didn't know were mistakes, like expanding too quickly, or not expanding fast enough, or not investing in the correct kind of resources at the correct time. You kind of need to know that in order to make that work. I realised I made a cup of tea. I haven't actually drunk any of it while I've been doing this. I really should actually try and preserve my throat to some degree. Because I should actually try and do some proper content work at some point. Ah, excellent. The negotiations for appointing a new Grand Marshal. My old one has died. Sidney Beauclair. What a shame. We must elect a new glorious Führer for our nation. And indeed our empire. Sad times. I do believe we should have a moment of silence, chat, for that person that you never even heard of up until now, but they were the one ruling the empire, not me, honestly, right? And someone's asking me, did I choose a new TLD? Why would I choose a new logo? I already have one. I do art competitions for the sake of art competitions and to get new images for like the banners for like Twitch and whatnot, so I'll finish assembling those hopefully at some point over the next week or two so that artwork can actually go up for like public display, because there's a load of stuff in there. But I don't think I'm going to use any of them as like a new logo. I don't really see the point in that. The one which I've got at the moment is a high enough quality, and it looks pretty damn good, and people are used to it by now, and it's sort of the one which has been going for the longest, with the channel getting to such a size that it is, so replacing it now would be a bit sort of jarring for people. You know, people don't like change, that's just, you know, that's life. I know I've changed logos like 3 times now, but that's because the first one was one I did in Photoshop in about 10 minutes, and it was a piece of shit. The second one was, again, a fan art piece, and it was just a million times better than anything I could produce, so I went with that, and obviously the one I'm using now is from the same artist, kind of like an updated rendition of that piece, so it's been the one which I've used ever since. And honestly, I think out of most of them, it's just sort of... Yeah, I think it's sort of one of the most professional looking ones out of it. Like, there's a load of other really good ones, but I think a lot of the other good ones like aren't sort of as clean in their lines. They're like not as clean and easy to recognize at all scales, like going from thumbnail all the way up to like a full screen thing. So you've got to sort of bear things like that in mind as well when it comes to, you know, logos and branding on the internet. You've got to consider all sorts of things like that. And I think the one which I'm using at the moment is the best which I've got for that. As I said, there's a degree of sort of brand recognition and familiarity. People don't like change very much, so, you know, if you get to like, you know, 100,000, 200,000, whatever, and you're just like, oh, I'm going to change my logo every like 6 months when I do an art contest, you know, people will get pissed about that, because they will, especially if it's like the same image which is used in the videos. People will get very sort of pissy about that, because it's the fucking internet and everything you do pisses off somebody, so there comes a time where you just have to think, ah, fuck it, it's not worth it just to avoid the drama, because the internet's full of people like that. Someone's saying, is Civ a 4X game? Yes, Civ is a 4X game. It's, because of that, it's kind of like this in some ways. It's basically just the explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. It's that same thing. You know, same basic theory as what we've got going on here. Oh, you guys are gonna be so fucking mad with me if I colonize that world. I would really rather they didn't. I suppose there's a tropical world there. I can inhabit a tropical world. Oh, the tropical world already has shit living on it. God damn it. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Why would it not? Why would a planet that I kind of want to inhabit be free? Of course it wouldn't. That would be way too practical. Someone's saying, what's the blue space in between me and Tumblr? The blue space is Tumblr. The way this game works is your empire will be assigned a color, and that'll be sort of how you work out what your borders are. Mine is currently the borders in red. The yellow dotted line is where my ships are able to jump to, because, as I said earlier, the race which I'm using travels by wormholes. We build wormhole arrays and then jump through it. So each one of these wormhole points, which is this swirly icon, generates a circle around it so that you can jump through that. So this yellow dotted line is kind of my jump range, as it were. The yellow mist is like sort of my star chart range, sort of sensor range thing, because I swapped star charts with this race here. So obviously these guys have mapped out all of this stuff, so I'm a bit more aware of all of this, which is why I know what all of these systems contain, even though I've not sent a science vessel here to scan it. So I know what is in all of this, because this is my sensor range as well, because of the star charts they gave me. The blue part here is actually this empire. The reason all of these empires are grey is because I don't know anything about these systems. You can see where the yellow intersects with this down here. This is like my sensor range, it's my star chart range, because I've scanned these systems. I've not scanned that system, but I know where it is because I've sort of went there once. But I scanned these systems, so I'm familiar with them, so they're inside the yellow cloud of my sensor range, basically, or my star-charted range. So that's why I know what this blue is. The blue is the color of this empire. All of this is actually blue. If I had the star charts for this area, this entire empire would be blue down here. So that's what that's about. Well, welcome to Stellaris politic map lines in a nutshell. That's kind of how it works. So you have to sort of pay attention to how all of this data is overlaying each other. So obviously the blue and the red here, they're not ever going to intersect or overlap with each other. They will always have a definitive line between them, because the red is obviously my area of influence. The blue is the Tumblr area at the moment, so that is why it's blue. It's because it's within my star chart range. Like, even these guys' empire, if these guys expanded their empire out beyond here, it would be brown, 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 brown until this point, and then it would go to being grey, just kind of like this is, because it would be outside my star chart knowledge.
Situation log updated. Evading hostile fleets.
Hostile fleets? Alien menace? Space jellyfish, you say? Murder it. Clearly. It's the only rational explanation. Oh wow, there are many space jellyfish. Wow, there's a lot of space that is a shit ton of space jellyfish. Kill them all. Filthy Xenos in my space? I think not.
Research complete.
Someone is asking, why is TLD on Twitch? Because I've been on here for ages. Well, I say ages, relatively ages. I've been on here for about a month now, maybe. Just because it's sort of a little side thing that I do on some evenings sometimes when I should probably be working on something else but just don't really feel like it. Which is kind of like today. So it's just sort of a little bit of fun. It's a little bit of something on the side. There's a whole other channel which I have. Ooh, propaganda broadcast. That could be useful. Let's pause and go through that. We need that because that's hydroponics and we have empires which are starving. Yeah, it's just a little something that gets run on the side to just sort of provide people with a little bit of extra entertainment, really. Oh, we're going to have that thing happen, and this is going to be really loud because combat in this game is loud as shit for some reason. Let's just take that down. Yeah, it's just a little side thing which I do just for fun, because people like content, frankly, and it's just a means of getting a little bit of extra content out there. You know, just something a little bit different, a little less formal, just total casualness on days when I really don't give a fuck about producing something like sort of decent, fully researched, scripted stuff. So, That's the reason for it. There is a YouTube channel which contains a backup of all of the VODs which I do on Twitch, because Twitch VODs only last for like a week or two. So if you go to Google, or if you go onto YouTube, it'll be a TLDRVG, exact same format, so TL semicolon DR semicolon VG, which you'll have all of the VOD, all of the VOD updates from Twitch on it. And if you can't find it like that, then just go through my main channel page. It's on the box on the side of my channel. You can find it through there. And then you can watch me suck horrendously at Far Cry for the most part. Actually, I think all the stuff I've done has been Far Cry, like, streaming-wise. This is the first time I've done something different just for fun. So I thought, because it's something a little bit different, that I would just stick a notice up on Twitter about it so that people could, like, come and see if it's something that interests them. If it is, great. If not, meh. Nothing is lost. Because I'm making space great again, and who doesn't want to make space great again, right? What's a VOD? A VOD is a video on demand. Alright, now we're getting rid of the stupid crystal space jellyfish. Filthy Xenos inhibiting my ability to acquire glorious living space for my empire of humanity. Absolutely unacceptable. And I'm going to come and research all of their corpses eventually. That'll be great. In fact, I'm going to send that ship to do that now. Go and research their remains and then get back to your job of scanning that system. Murder it! In the name of humanity. I was going to do, you know, the whole cyber violence thing, because we've got that new study coming out, which is like, oh, half of online misogyny is perpetuated by women, to which everyone on the internet who has ever been on the internet for more than 5 minutes said, really? I've never even thought that that could be possible, but apparently it's a fucking revelation to a bunch of other people. So I wanted to sort of do something where I go, not kind of rare actually, normally I might only do it once a week or once every other week. This week's been kind of an exception. I've actually done 2 nights in a row this week, because, frankly, I just really didn't feel like doing anything else this evening. I should have, actually done some work on, a proper video this evening, but I didn't, because I just really didn't feel like it. I've just been feeling, nah. Today, I was going to do, you know, the whole cyber violence thing, because we've got that new study coming out, which is like, oh, half of online misogyny is perpetuated by women, to which everyone on the internet who has ever been on the internet for more than 5 minutes said, really? I've never even thought that that could be possible, but apparently it's a fucking revelation to a bunch of other people. So I wanted to sort of do something where I go not only through that study, but also look at, because that one's one of the papers from Demos, and there's another one previously done which demonstrates that although female journalists experience more harassment than other things, male celebrities experience even more. So that was another one of the Demos papers, which I wanted to kind of cut in and out of there as well, and I wanted to go over again some of the Pew Research data that's kind of like, no, this is basically not a gendered problem, and trying to gender it is stupid. So I was going to sort of do one where it's kind of like, okay, we've got this latest thing out, and we can now start sort of like a sort of meta-analysis video almost, but not quite, because I don't want to look at all 3 of them in as equal amount, because we've looked at 2 of those already. So I wanted to sort of say, okay, well, here's a third paper in the same vein. It's a third study. It's come to very similar conclusions, and we'll take that in context with these other 2, and we'll sort of look at this very this slightly more comprehensive picture that's actually being built about online harassment and who's saying all the mean things to who, and how, yet again, unsurprisingly, it basically disproves the popular feminist social justice narrative that, oh, the women's experience everything so much worse than everyone, and won't somebody please think of the vaginas, and yeah, it's not a gendered issue, and all the research we have is proving it. So I kind of want to I want to look on that one because it's quite topical at the moment, but I wanted to bring in the other 2 papers that we've got as well, just floating around. Speaking of papers, actually, about online harassment and cyber violence, this is why I like this game. We can slow down and we can actually talk about things outside of this game. You know that EU cyber violence paper that came out? God, it must be about a year now. And there was a video, and I can't remember which video it was in, but there was a video that I did where I touched on it briefly, and I said, this is why they've taken this down, and I can't help but think that, in them saying, like, oh, we're gonna try and get a revised copy up in a couple of months is just an excuse for them to never put a revised copy up and just hope that everyone forgets about it. Turns out the web page which was going to have the revised thing up still has the message like, we are working on a revised version of this. Like, it hasn't changed since the day that they took that shoddy piece of research down. Like, I think I just called it, and I think I got it right, that no, they are not gonna do an updated version on it. They're just hoping that everyone's forgotten all about it. It's actually quite funny. I kind of just want, I want to try and slip that into a video. I might actually try and put it into that one, considering we're going to be talking about online harassment. Just kind of put it in as like a little quip at the end, just like, oh, and you remember that. Oh, cool, you want to have a diplomacy thing with me? Nice, okay, good for you. I don't really care. But I might sort of pop that in at like the end, just be like, oh, you remember like last year when there was a thing about, where there was a thing talking about cyber violence from the UN, and they were like, oh, well, it's a really shit piece of research, and everyone's pointed out the blatant flaws in it, and how we accidentally linked to our hard drive and ourselves and a bunch of non-existent sources, and whoops. And point out that, like, yeah, no, remember when I said this? And actually sort of just put it in as like a little bit of a jib at the end, just for fun. I really wish I could remember which video of mine it was that I said that in. Because it would be nice to just sort of say, like, hey guys, do you remember when I said this? And sort of cut back to it, be like, turns out, I was fucking right! Not that I mean to gloat or anything, but insert gloating statement here. Yeah, funny as hell. Funny as hell. And I think I got a little bit distracted from making space great again. I was planning on making space an amazing place to be so that I didn't have to remember all of that other shit that I'm supposed to be doing, and now I've remembered, so thanks, chat. Someone's saying, have you thought of making a Teal Deer short thoughts? Well, that's what the op-ed video was for. You know, that's sort of why I messed around with that op-ed format video a little bit earlier. In the week, where I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to try a little format here just to sort of explore something a little bit more, you know, from just sort of a thinking perspective rather than a, oh, here's a load of data, just sort of like an observational thing. And it seems to have gone down reasonably well, so I might do some more of those in the future. But they're not going to be like short thoughts, they're just going to be like general little bits of op-ed thought pattern, and maybe that is the kind of place to do something like that. Just as a little, like, 3 or 4 minute, hey, I was right about this thing. Do you remember this thing? It was funny. So maybe that is a place to do something like that, but I like to try and put loads of things into one video, because I don't want to become like one of those channels that's like, oh, there's going to be something new every day or every other day, and it's going to be like some sort of low quality, you know, piece of shit. You know, I don't really want to be that guy, because that's not helpful. I mean, some people can do stuff like every day or every other day and produce high quality content, but I do not have the time to do that. Because strange things that people don't seem to realize about me, I don't do YouTube full time. You know, that seems to be a fucking revelation for some people. It's like, yeah, you can have more... Because, you know, there's people on YouTube now who actually just go onto YouTube who outright state from the beginning, like, oh, my goal is to do YouTube for a living. It's like, alright, well, that's a fucking stupid goal, because you're probably not going to make it, but alright. But yeah, it seems weird, you know, like there's people, it's like, oh, you get to like 2,000 people, better open a Patreon and a PayPal and enable all the advertisements so I can make like $5 a month and try and pretend that this is a job, or some such stupid shit like that. Yeah, it seems to like fucking blow people's mind that you can be a YouTuber with like more than 100k subs and be like, yeah, no, YouTube isn't a job for me, it's just a hobby, it's just something which I do for fun, like on the side. I actually have stuff which I do outside of that. You know, that's why I don't want to be like one of those people. It's like, oh, I'm going to produce something every day or every other day, you know. There may yet be peace. Okay, well, respect my authority and you'll be fine. Yeah, so I don't want to do that, because it doesn't... I don't think it matches sort of the kind of stuff which I do. I rather prefer, you know, sort of semi-long form, 20 to 40 minutes. Like, we're going to go through this, there's going to be a decent amount of data in here, and we'll go from there, because I just think that's a much better format to do. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, here's a 5-minute piece of shit about my thoughts every single day, or here's like a 5 or 10 minute of me calling someone a fucking moron, or, you know, something like that. You know, I don't think that's constructive at all. It might be entertaining for some people, but I don't find that entertaining, so I'm not going to do it. I'd rather stick to doing what I do now, which is kind of like, you know, 1 piece of content a week, maybe 2, sometimes 3 if I find a load of stuff that can be covered reasonably easily. But yeah, I think some people are blown away by the fact that it's like, oh, you've got over 100,000 subscribers and YouTube isn't your full-time job? What the fuck? You know, people seem to find that a really difficult concept to grasp. Actually, no, I don't want you to do that. I want you to scan this over here. I think it's probably because there's so many people who actively these days, like, aim for... The fuck are you? But anyway, I think that's because there's so many people who, like, actively aim to do YouTube as a fucking job these days. So it's kind of like this idea that someone could be in a position where they could actually do that doesn't is, like, really weird to some people. And that's something which I find really funny, actually, about, like, especially the anti-feminist community on YouTube. Like, the people who do, like, oh, anti-feminist, anti-social justice, da-da-da-da-da, all that shit. You get, like, the tiny little channels, like, you know, the sub-10k channels, who will actively state, like, oh, I want to do YouTube for a living. It's like, hang on, let me get this right. You want to do anti-feminism on YouTube for a job, and yet you criticize feminists going to university to get a gender studies degree to do feminism for a job. So you're going to mock people wanting to do feminism for a job, but then you're going to sit there and announce that you want to do anti-feminism on the internet for a job. Are you fucking kidding me? You know, it's bizarre. I can't get my head around that logic. It's like, I'm going to mock people for making stupid career choices while announcing that I'm going to make a stupid career choice. Alright, fine. Just be aware that that makes you look like a real fucking moron. Now, someone's saying, so what do you think of people who try to play video games for... It's kind of the same thing. It's like, by all means do it. You know, there's nothing wrong with making the effort. If you're passionate about it, go for it. But I've talked about, like, the viability of Let's Play channels and shit like that before as a means of making a living. You know, the market is absolutely saturated. The big players are already the big players. And the odds of you being someone who's going to pull yourself out of the, you know, hundreds of thousands of people who do it, you know, you're probably not going to be able to. You know, if you want to do it as like a passion project, by all means go for it. You know, I'm all in favor of and completely supportive of people who want to do something like creative like that. It's like, okay, fine, you're doing something creative. Awesome. Fucking great. I'm really happy that you want to do that. But the idea that you're like, oh, I'm going to like found a YouTube Let's Play channel and I'm going to stream on Twitch 7 days a week and I'm going to make a living. It's like, no, you're probably not. You're probably not. You're probably going to fail horribly. And also, you're probably going to end up being one of those streamers who has to stream like 10 or 12 hours every goddamn day just to get enough donations to make it viable. And it's going to be, you know, you're going to find it stressful and you're going to find it probably quite boring forcing yourself to play video games like 8 to 12 hours every single day just to make ends meet. Because the thing which I've noticed about people who do that is, my god, the amount of shilling that goes on. Like, I tried watching someone actually earlier who was actually playing Stellaris. They were actually doing like a sort of stream of this, and just everything on their screen was just dedicated to asking people for their money. It's like there's a box over here like, oh, look at all of the people who have donated to me over the past week, and here's another box like telling you who the top people are who have donated, and here's a banner every time someone donates, flashing their name up, and here's another. And by the time you go through all that, it's like, okay, but where's the game on the screen? I can't see what you're fucking doing through the amount of desperate shilling that you're doing in order to actually make ends meet. You know, I don't see, like, video gaming, you know, it can be viable, but it's just sort of one of those things you need to just sort of do it as, like, a passion project, and then if it goes somewhere, then you keep going with it. But I think you have to be very aware of committing the gambler's fallacy when it comes to, like, trying to do video games for a living. You have to be very aware of, like, the amount of time that you're investing then compared to, like, how much you're gonna get back. Like, if you end up as being one of those people who's streaming, like, 8, 9, 10 hours a day to make $5, like, no, that time would be much better spent doing something else. So, yeah, well, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. You know, go for it. If it works, but don't become a victim of the sunk cost. Yeah, someone's saying, don't watch some person, they get donations of up to $1,500. Yeah, it's... Some of the donations that people get on those things are absolutely ridiculous, and, you know, good for them, frankly. You know, good for them that they can make a living doing that, and that they produce something that people want to buy. Great, you know, that's capitalism in a nutshell. Great. But my god, some of it is depressing, especially... Oh god, the booby streamers, they're the worst ones, though. The women where it's just like, yep, I'm gonna wear this top, I'm gonna get that foundation in between my cleavage, make it nice and dark so my tits look huge. I'm gonna be taking up half of the screen, or 3/4 of it. My gameplay footage is basically going to be a mini-map in the corner, and I'm going to write names on the whiteboard behind me of all of my contributors, so that when I get up, I get to bend over wearing my leggings to write their name on it, so that everyone can get a good look up my arse at it. It's like, okay, great, you're basically a glorified cam girl at this point in time, well done. And the thing that annoys me about those people is it's like, my god, you are distracting away from all of the, like, gamers out there who actually have legitimate talent and are actually trying to get that out there, who are actually explaining in depth about the game mechanics, or actually exhibiting skill at the game, and you're just shitting all over that, aren't you? God damn it. That makes me sad. Time to upgrade the hydroponics. I need a planetary administration. God damn it. We can't upgrade the hydroponics team. Shit. We can... Ah, wait, we've got research going for, space hydroponics, though, don't we? So we can actually put that up eventually. You are alien scum. Go away. Yeah, someone's mentioned, at least Hafu knows how to play Hearthstone. Yeah, perfect example of, like, a legitimately good, gamer who just happens to be female. Doesn't give a shit about, like, trying to whore herself out using her appearance. Because I've actually watched some of her streams. It's like, no, here's how you play the game. Here's some mechanics, and I'm going to show you some fucking skill while doing it. That's awesome. And it's kind of sad that you then realize that she'll have, like, as many subscribers as some airhead playing League of Legends who doesn't even know what an off lane is or what a safe lane is, just rolls whatever they want, and then spends half of the game laughing while biting their finger and saying, oh my god, I'm so bad at everything. Yeah. Makes me kind of sad. Ah, was that my, yes, I do believe that was my research into my glorious space hydroponics thing so I can actually sort out my... There we go, orbital hydroponics. That'll sort out your food problems. Easy game, easy life. Couldn't help but notice that since I've been complaining about the terrible quality of Let's Playing in the world, I've suddenly gained like an extra sort of 20 viewers. That's kind of weird. Are people just attracted by anger and vitriol, apparently? It's kind of sad, but I might just be cranky because it's getting a little bit late. No, I'm not cranky because I'm late. I'm cranky because I fucking hate those people. But it is getting late, and I should probably try and wrap up soon so I can actually go to bed. Gotta get them naps in so that I can actually produce some proper content tomorrow. Seeing as I've got the entire day off, so I can actually do something useful, as opposed to sitting and playing video games while panning around a map like this, which is probably not very interesting to watch. It's immensely interesting to play, might not be very good for you to watch though. It's not a very visually stimulating game. I don't give a fuck though, you're mostly here for my voice, which is slowly giving out at the moment. I kind of want to find more habitable planets. I need technology to inhabit better planets, damn it. But at least we're slowly expanding our sphere of influence, so that's great. I don't think I've surveyed any of these over here, so let's take a look at those over there while we're at it. I think I'm going to wind up soon, so let's... I like how my empire has gone from being a giant dick in space about to penetrate Tumblr to being like a hairdryer pointing at Tumblr if you lean your head to the right. Tumblr is growing very large. I love how the Tumblr intersectional empire is just expanding oh so rapidly. Like it really is getting on board with the fat acceptance in space. Fucking nonsense. It's crazy. Hopefully we're going to put an end to that soon and begin the glorious purge wherein we'll just slowly destroy them. We shall make them weep. Hostile fleet? I think not. I mean, a negative balance of power as well, that's kind of sad. That's not really a problem, we just need to build more power plants. I'm sure we can sort that out easily enough. Something which I'm going to have to get to. I might actually do that at some point later on, though, because like I said, I'm kind of getting a bit tired. It's getting a bit late here. There you go. Upgrade the power plant. No, I can't afford it. Oh yeah, I need planetary administration there. Can I build a planetary administration? Probably should. Or is that... Oh no, that's something that has to come from a ship, I think. Frustrating. Doesn't matter, I'll find a way around it. There's always going to be a workaround for these things. Someone's saying in the chat, you're just here for my voice. Hashtag spotted. Absolutely. Let's be honest, guys. Be honest with me, chat. You would not be here right now watching me play this game if I weren't who I am. If I were just some random person on the internet that you had never fucking heard of before in your life, you would probably find this boring as shit and you wouldn't be here. You'd drop in, say, you're shit, you suck at this game, you're boring, you have a boring, monotonous voice, fuck you, kill yourself and leave. The reason you're here is because of the personality. It's because of the person, it's not because of the gameplay or the skills or anything like that. Be honest with yourself, chat. Be honest. We all know it's true. I don't begrudge you for it. Let's be honest, if there's someone you want to watch for talented gameplay footage, it ain't me. It's really not. There are so many other more talented people than I am out there who you could learn so much more from about this sort of shit. Well, I think we've reached a reasonable lull in the game. Anyway, we've expanded a little bit. We've had a bit of violence, we've expanded, we've grown our glorious empire ever outwards. We are wealthy. We are very wealthy. We have stores of all of the minerals, but we need to begin getting some power going on here. Let's maybe look at trying to get some more power plants going on. Oh, I can build a Betharian power plant. Let's do that. We shall power it with slaves, because they are very efficient at just all of the manual labor. So let's do that. Actually, no, I kind of don't. Do I really want to put it on this planet, though? Probably not. Let's give them just a regular power plant. I kind of want, I give them a power hub. Yeah, we'll give them a power hub. Because that'll increase the general power output across the entire planet, which should be enough to bring the rest of the Empire in line with my power requirements. That'll help. Right, it'll be fine. We will make it work. You just gotta believe. Making space great again, guys. Let's do it. Let's go and make space great again by purging the Xeno scum, and then I will end the stream there. Die, foul beasts! Inhuman monsters! How'd you enjoy them level 3 missiles? Damn right. Fucking amazing. And now I'm going to murder your base. Because fuck you, that's why. And we'll begin researching your corpses. Because we will learn something. For science. Get wrecked, fools. You thought you could stand in the way of the Commonwealth of Man? Absolutely not. Under no circumstances, good sir. Excellent. I really need to improve my navy and expand it. I have a lot of naval capacity, I'm not using it. I think I have, What? I'm not a fan of these people. They have recalled their embassy. I suspect a stab in the back. I feel like this would be an excellent time for me to actually begin expanding the fleet. Let's upgrade the spaceport.
Research complete.
You probably want to have an orbital hydroponics bay, but we will upgrade the spaceport and we will begin churning out the destroyers so that we can then fucking murder everything. We shall take over the universe with the HMS citation needed, and all will be well with the universe. That is at least my plan, and I do believe we're going to put that plan into action next time, because I think we've reached a reasonable point to sort of call this. Like I said, it's getting a bit late, and I'm getting a bit tired, so I'm gonna have a quick look over at the chat and see what's going on over there. How is everyone doing in the chat? Saying Tumblr is sending their people, folks, and you know they're not sending their best. What? Someone saying, am I dropping frames? No, I'm not dropping any frames over here locally. If there is, it might be something on Twitch's end or on your end. It's not on my end that that's happening. Alright, I think we're gonna deal with it. Someone saying, purge the Tumblr scum. Abso-fucking-lutely. I do believe that that is a glorious, glorious goal to have in life. We shall expand our living area for the glorious empire of humanity and take out everything. Because after all, it is our birthright and so on and so forth and various other racist, xenophobic propaganda. Because space actually is our fucking birthright. We need it, we deserve it, and that's it. That's the logic which I'm going to use to purge all of the alien races from the galaxy that we're playing in. Go on, Tumblr. You fucking quote mine that sentence. You know you want to. Stream was a little short on purges, but pretty good. I know, it's difficult to purge alien scum early on in the game, unfortunately. You kind of need to build up a decent empire with a shitload of military before you can do that, but we're gonna make it happen. We will make space great again, I promise, chat. Anyway, I do believe I'm going to end it there, so I shall see you all in the not-too-distant future, hopefully. Thank you for joining me, and good night, all.